you guys need a clap at the beginning. It's my favourite bit.
We're not so professional. So, those 2 days.
Hello.
Hello, Frank. Nice
Hi,
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Come on.
Again.
Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm fine.
We're going to play a board game, apparently.
Yeah.
What's the name of the board game?
It's a Frank Turner game.
The Frank Turner game, okay.
So, as you do so many interviews all the time, every day, I decided to do something more special. Today we'll play a game.
Yeah.
This is a little guy you will play with your face on.
He's wearing my t-shirt as well.
He's wearing your t-shirt. And we have different colored fields. Like the grey one is just a random question. The red one is a question about positive, about the future.
Yeah.
And the blue ones are like more about negative stuff or about the past.
Okay.
And this is your dice.
Okay.
If you get the rabbit, you have to get an action card.
Okay. Does that mean I'm going to have to like dance or like
Maybe.
jump? Oh God. Okay. All right. Let's go. 4. Yeah, I'm going to let you do it.
So it's a random question.
Okay.
Did you ever forget your passport?
Yeah. You know what I have done? I actually lost my passport once, which was a nightmare. We were in, though there's a reason, I've got a reason. We were in, I was on tour in America with Dropkick Murphys, and there was this break in the middle of the tour for like 3 days when me and Casey and Greg Nolan flew from New York to Austin to do South by Southwest, and then we're flying from Austin back to Boston to finish the tour with the Dropkicks and then go home. And I was so tired because I'd had about an hour's sleep in the last 2 days that I put my passport in the back of the seat in front of me on the plane for some reason, and then forgot about it, and I'd lost my passport. And the thing is, I made all these calls, and there's a place in New York you can go and you get a temporary passport to get home. But I still had to get from Austin to Boston, and I didn't have any form of ID because I don't drive and I didn't have any photo ID. And in the end, I successfully ID'd myself onto the plane using the South by Southwest schedule, which had a photo of me and next to my name next to it and my credit card. And the woman just kind of went, "Fuck you," but she let me on the plane.
Okay,
so
good.
And then I had to get a train to New York and get a passport. But that was a giant pain in the ass, and I'm never going to do it again. And my passport is in my pocket right now. I'm going to show it for the camera, just to prove that I am my tour manager. Look, there it is. I haven't lost it. It's there. There's my passport.
You didn't forget it.
Okay, so now I'm rolling again.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I've got the good rules of this game down. Rabbit. Oh, shit. Okay.
You have to pick it up.
Oh God. Say this is first. Okay. It's so early in the morning. I only have one coffee. I'm going to say this as fast as I can. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. That was pretty good.
That was good.
I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. And then where she sits, she shines, and where she shines, she shit. He's trying to trick me. Where she sits, she shines, and where she shines, she sits.
Exactly.
There we go. You know, if you ever want to fuck with a French person, get them to say toothpaste or Southampton. They're the 2 words that French people can't say.
English people can't say Streichholzschächtelchen.
No. I can say Schildkröten.
Oh, great.
That took me a long time. Eichhörnchen.
Eichhörnchen.
Eichhörnchen. Yeah, there we go. I can say some German words. Right, okay. 4. Another random question.
How many mails do you get every day?
About 100, 150. I mean, but the thing is, within that, like, they separate out when they arrive in my inbox. You know, some of them are like work emails, so stuff from people from Smile, booking agents, band, crew, that kind of thing. There's not as many of them. And then I have a block list. Some that go into the void and are destroyed by laser guns. I know, just, I try and be open to all people, but there are some people who have demonstrated that they're not people I wish to communicate with. It's the most diplomatic way I can put that. Sometimes it's people who just want to send me abusive messages, and sometimes it's people who've kind of not quite grasped the kind of rules of social discourse. And I don't want to spend my entire life checking my email. So I've learned over the years to kind of separate some of those out a bit.
Okay.
All right.
Next round.
Next round. 2. Another random one. Ah,
Oh,
it's
no.
all right. Okay, come on. I want some positive and negative questions soon, but let's do this.
What are your 3 favorite books and why?
That is a fine question. One of them, I'm going to pick Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. It's the book I've read most. I've read that book like 5 times through.
Okay.
It's a remarkable use of the English language. I can't think of anything like it. The second one, which is a recent book for me, but it's really a phenomenal piece of writing, is W.G. Sebald, The Rings of Saturn. He was a German who came to England in the 1930s, I think I'm right in saying, and he walked around Sussex, which is southeast of England, for the rest of his life, and wrote these bizarre sort of mystical, semi-mystical psychogeographic travel books, and The Rings of Saturn just upended my entire life when I read it. I just kind of couldn't quite figure out what to do with myself after I'd read it. And then I'm going to pick 1989 by Victor Sebastien, which is a history book about the fall of the Berlin Wall and the fall of communism across Europe. And it's an incredibly well-written history. You know, some history books are quite dry. This one's it's written engagingly, but it's also, I mean, it genuinely moved me to tears on more than one occasion. And I feel very strongly that the European communism, the existence of it, and the collapse of it is a series of historical events that are being rather too quickly brushed under the carpet. And I think that it's something that people should spend more time concentrating on and thinking about.
Okay, I thought you would pick the Henry Rollins one.
Oh no, well that's number 4.
Okay.
Okay, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, what does that mean?
You can go on the red field.
Yes, a red
Pick
field.
a
So a positive
question.
song. It's a song question.
Question.
Lider. Is Lider a song, right?
What?
Lider? And
Lider?
Lider? Positive Lider for your negative mention.
Leader.
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 There we go. Leader. Lider.
Will there ever be a second book? You just published your first.
Probably, but probably not the same as the first one. I think that, I mean, I don't think that unless it's a lot later in my life, I don't think that writing another book about touring makes much sense, simply because, in a way, the interesting part of the story is how you get from having nothing to having a full crew and 1,000 people come to the show. And it's not that I'm bored by what I do, I'm definitely not, but I think that explaining that, yes, and then we went on another 6-week tour where we had the same crew in a bus and played the same size venues every day, it's not as interesting as the first part of the story. And plus, I mean, part of the idea of the original book was for it to be functional, the idea that it would tell people how you got from nothing to something. That said, I mean, I was talking to my publisher the other day. I mean, the book did very well for everyone financially and all the rest of it. So, which means that they're interested in doing another one, which is good. So I was thinking about writing a book about songwriting because the first book doesn't cover that at all.
Yep.
See, I'm already referring to it as the first book, which implies there's a second one. You know, I think it would be interesting to try and discuss songwriting. I mean, it would be quite a lot of effort for me because I find it very difficult to talk about songwriting, not because I don't want to, but because I've never really been taught anything about music particularly, so I don't really have a functional vocabulary for it. But I think it would be interesting, maybe. I don't know, I was thinking about possibly almost doing like an anthology where I go through each of the songs that I've written and try and write 2 or 3 pages about it. You know, where it came from, how it was written, maybe notes on how it was recorded and that kind of thing. My only reservation about doing that is just that I do think that there's value in a little bit of mystery about songs. You know, and I don't want it to, you know, I don't want it to be kind of like this means this and this means this and this means this, and if you take it differently, you're wrong, because that isn't how art functions. But we'll see. I mean, I've also got ambitions to write a kind of Robin McFarlane, Paul Theroux style book about the area of London that I live in, but that would require a lot of research, which I don't really know how to do, and it would also require me being rather better at prose than I am. But I might give it a go. Okay. I mean, I've probably got at least another couple of decades before I fuck off, so there's time.
Great.
Cool. Right. Okay. 4.
You only have all the 4 all the time.
Blue. Negative. Okay, we finally got a negative.
Yes, maybe not negative, but back to the past. Oh yeah, cool. How was it to record your book as an audiobook? And did you have to repeat some lines over and over again?
Yes, definitely. It was an interesting process. I mean, there's a whole kind of system in place for these things to happen. And apparently lots of people get other people to do it for them. I considered asking Jay, Beans on Toast, to do it, but I'm not sure that his voice would survive for that long in one go. Although he's quit smoking now, in fairness. But I think that it was I don't know, it was pretty tedious. It's pretty fucking boring. And you just sit there and there's a guy on the other side of the glass and you're just sort of reading it out and you get into this kind of slightly hypnotic rhythm. But yeah, you stop and have to redo stuff like every 3 sentences or something. And then he is sitting there making notes, and then, well, I'd imagine probably one of the most boring parts is for him going through and editing it all so that it sounds good. But listening to hours and hours of my voice, both live and on recording, the poor bastard. But yeah, he made it, he did it, and it came out. I'm glad. It was a cool thing to do. I mean, I'm not sure that we're going to sell millions of them, but I mean, there are people who can't, sort of visually impaired people or whatever who want it, and there are some people who prefer books to audiobooks to books. So
good.
It happened. If you want to listen to 8 hours of my boring voice, you can do that.
I tried it, but I failed.
Yes, well,
I had to shut it down really soon.
Yes, yeah, right, quite. Okay, come on. I want a 2.
2.
That's a positive.
Oh yeah, it's my turn. Yeah. The first time we met, you told me in an interview you really want to play in South America.
Yeah.
So far you didn't.
Yeah.
But did you get any closer to this wish?
Yeah. There's announcements coming.
Cool.
Well, hold on. Let me clarify that. I mean, there's announcements coming for south of Texas. I shouldn't really say any more than that just yet. But I mean, it is something. I mean, the problem with it is that the touring network in that part of the world is still quite Wild West, I suppose. I don't mean that with casting any aspersions on anyone from that part of the world, but like, it's not unlike touring in Russia, which is quite hard to do, simply because there are a lot of sharks out there who want to fuck bands over, and if you've got a bunch of kind of idiot drunk musicians who are thousands of miles away from home, it's quite easy to rip them off. Particularly when you've got people who want to come to the shows and give them money, and that's, if you're an unscrupulous criminal, that's quite a rich situation. I've been lucky enough. I went to Russia a few times, and I was lucky enough to go with sort of friends of friends kind of thing, and it was very DIY, but it was very cool. But the South America thing, I mean, for example, we had a thing where I was very, very close to confirming a tour of all of South America, and I got a call from a friend of mine who tour manages another band. He said, "Are you talking to so-and-so?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Do not fucking do that." So we had to pull the plug on it, which really sucked because the tour looked great. It was like Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador,
Yeah, I can recommend Argentina. It was great.
Yeah, I've never been south of El Paso, so I'm excited to go. And yeah, we've got some stuff coming down the pipeline. Cool. What happens now?
I don't know. It's up to you.
I think.
You can go for another round.
Yeah.
Maybe we're running out for questions.
I think we need to just do that, and then you get me another one of them. I'm enjoying these questions. They're good.